Hello and welcome to another episode of Travel Learning Hub. This is Madhvi Ajwani. Today we are going to learn that how do we decode and encode on Amadeus. This is our screen for Amadeus. Let's look at the entries. Let's go. We are going to use DAN. DAN. Let's say I have a city. Let's take Delhi since we are all aware. DAN. I say Delhi. Okay. Now here DAN followed by Delhi is going to give me the code for Delhi. Now which code is this? This code is IATA code. It is given by IATA to the city Delhi. Now here we can see DEL. This is the code for Delhi. C stands for city. Now how do I know it is city? Because I can see it here. City. Delhi. IN stands for India. We all know IN stands for India and DL stands for state Delhi. India we have states, so Delhi is also one of the states. So DL stands for state Delhi. So IN stands for India and DL stands for state Delhi. A stands for airport here. Now Indira Gandhi Delhi DEL, Indira Gandhi International Airport. Now you can see the city code and the airport code. They have the same code. The city and the airport code, they have the same code. Why? Because there's only one airport in the city, Delhi. So that is why you can see the city code and the airport code being the same. Now if I ask you how far is Indira Gandhi International Airport from Delhi, you will say it is within Delhi. So 0K, 0K stands for 0 kilometers away from the city. It's within the city. So 0K, 0K stands for 0 kilometers away from the city. IN again India and DL stands for Delhi. Let's check with Mumbai. I'm going to use the same code. I'll also tell you how to remember. Mumbai. Now, when we look at Mumbai, it is BOM for Mumbai. Now, BOM, earlier the name of Mumbai was Bombay. So once IATA has given a code to a particular city, it normally doesn't change the code. No matter how many times we change the name of the city, but the codes are never changed. C stands for city, Mumbai. A stands for airport. BOM is the code for airport Mumbai. Since there's only one airport in Mumbai, so it is the same code for the city, for the airport. Chhatrapati S. Maharaj is the name of the airport. There 0K, 0 kilometers away. IN stands for India. MH stands for Maharashtra. Next, we are going to see Goa. DAN, Goa. Now, for Goa, you can see here that here we have GOI for the city code, and also you have two airports here. One is the Debolim, which was the earlier airport, and now there's another airport there, the Mopa airport, which has another code GOX. So the main airport you would see has the same code as the city. And the other airport has a code GOX because GOI has already been allotted to Debolim airport. Now you can also see Debolim is located within the city. That is why you can see 0K, 0 kilometers away from the city, India, Goa. And GOX is Mopa airport, which is 38 kilometers away from the city. Let's try with some other country. DAN, Singapore. Now here in Singapore, you can see you have SIN for the city code, and there's one airport, that is Changi airport, that has been given the same code SIN because this is the main airport there. Then you have Paya Lebar, Seletar and Tengah. You have about 3 more airports. So in total, you have 4 airports there. P stands for port. where you have these cruises. They leave from this particular port, Marina Bay. You can also see the distances. Changi being the main airport, it is within the city itself, 0 kilometers away from the city. Paya is 9 kilometers and so on. Now here you can see SG stands for Singapore. So Singapore is a city also, Singapore is a country also. So SG stands for Singapore as a country. Let's look at London. DAN, London. Okay, so when we say London here, the first London it is showing me is in Canada. CA stands for Canada. Now this is a state in Canada, ON, Ontario. The second London it is telling me is the London is Great Britain. GB. GB stands for Great Britain, which is known as UK, United Kingdom. But the country code is GB, so don't get confused there. Now here, the London I was looking for is the one in Great Britain, that is UK. Now here you can see so many airports: Biggin Hill, City Airport, Gatwick, Heathrow, Luton, Southend, and Stansted. So all these airports you can't see any airport code which is same as the city code, because this particular city has so many airports. And they're all in Great Britain. Below there you can see the railway stations. These railway stations are also IATA recognized, and that is why they have a 3-letter code. You can see the railway stations here. So it stands for railway stations. You can make out from here. R stands for railway stations. Let's check Paris. DAN, Paris. Now here in Paris you can see there's so many airports. There's 7 airports here. But normally you will see the flights going to Charles de Gaulle. This is the most famous airport over there, which has a airport code CDG. And FR stands for France here, because all of them are located in France. So when we talk about Paris, it is telling us it is located in France. The rest of the Paris are located in US. Now we're going to see how do we decode. For decoding, we use DAC. DAC, and let's give the 3-letter code for the city. DAC, DEL. Now here, when I say DAC, DEL, it almost gives me the same output. Delhi, city, Delhi. IN stands for India and DL stands for state Delhi. So this represents the state Delhi. Okay. And DEL, A stands for airport here, Indira Gandhi International. Almost the same display which we have already seen earlier. Right? Let's try with BKK. When I say BKK here, it tells me BKK stands for Bangkok, TH stands for Thailand here. It has two airports here, Don Mueang and Swarnabhumi International. The main airport is Swarnabhumi International Airport, which is 0 kilometers. So almost the same display you get to see. Now how do you remember where to use DAN and where to use DAC? I'm sure you can get confused. Remember this. When you say DAN, you give it the name. Let's say when we say DAN, we give it the name. Like for example, I can say Bangkok. And when you say DAC, you give it the code BKK. Isn't this simple to understand and remember? Whenever C in the end, give it the code. N in the end, give it the name. I hope I made myself very clear. Now let's see. Next thing we're going to see is, let's say I want to decode what country is this. Let's take another example. Let's say I say DAN. Frankfurt. Okay. It shows me a country code here, DE. So I don't know what is DE. Okay. So in that case, I say DC, DE. To remember this is decode country. Now this is used for decoding as well as encoding the country. If I say DCDE, it is going to give me Germany, which is in Europe. It is in TC2. We have already discussed the traffic conference areas in our prior video, so you can just refer to this. TC2 stands for traffic conference area number 2. Euro is the currency which is used there locally or internationally. DEU stands for German citizen. This particular code is normally used when we give passport details. Next. Let's take another place. Let's say I say DAN and I take a place, New York. Although we know where is New York. Now here we have to only consider the first two alphabets. It tells us US. We only have to consider the first two alphabets. This is the name, this is the code for the country. So in this case, if I want to decode the country, it's BC US. So you can say it's US dollar, local and international currency, published currency. It's United States citizens, USA. It's located in traffic conference area number 1. So I hope this is clear. Let's take another one. DAN. Sydney. Now it tells me that Sydney is located in this particular country whose code is AU. To decode AU, we use DC AU. It tells me it's Australia, Australasia, TC3, Australian dollar is the currency there, and Australian citizens. Next one. Let's take DAN, Moscow. Let's say I don't know the 3-letter code from Moscow and I don't even know which country is it located in. So here, DAN, Moscow, MOW is the 3-letter code for Moscow. It tells me about 3 airports are there and it is located in RU. So I need to find out where is RU. I would use DC RU. That stands for Russia and tells me it's Euro and Asia. It's a part of Europe and Asia, Eurasia, and it is located in traffic conference area number 2. This is the local currency, Russian ruble. Euro is the international currency and these are the citizens. Okay, now in this case, what we have done is we have given the 2-letter code of the country. Let's check with the country. If I know the name of the country, how do I get the 2-letter code of the country? DC. Let's take a simple one. Sri Lanka. So the 2-letter code for Sri Lanka is LK. Sri Lanka, Asia region, TC3. It belongs to traffic and conference area number 3. Sri Lanka rupee, that's the currency used there. Sri Lanka citizens. Let's check with one more place. Let's say China. So DC China, CN is the two-letter code. China Asia region, which region does it belong to? TC3. Yuan renminbi is the currency there, local and international published currency, and China citizen. I hope decoding and encoding the cities and the countries it is very clear. Next, the next thing we're going to see is how do you decode or encode the airline. So here we are going to use DNA. Now to remember this, it is very easy. A in the end stands for airline. Now let's give it an airline name. Let's say I say Spice Jet. When I say Spice Jet, the two-letter code for Spice Jet is SG. SEJ is a three-letter code, but we normally don't use this three-letter code. It is never used. I've never seen anybody using it. Now, 775 is the digital code for SpiceJet. Now, digital code, where is it used? Whenever you have a ticket number, there's a ticket number for every ticket. So, SpiceJet ticket would always start with 775. So, this is, this gives a, this lets you know to whom does this ticket number belong to, which airline does this ticket number belong to. 775. See, the ticket number is 13 digit. Ticket number is 13 digit. If it is a SpiceJet ticket, it will always begin with 775 followed by the 10-digit ticket number. Okay, so basically this is the airline digital code. 775 is the airline digital code which belongs to SpiceJet. Let's take another airline. Emirates. Now when I say DNA Emirates, EK is the two-letter code for Emirates. UAE is the three-letter code, but then we'd never use it. 176 is the airline digital code. All the Emirates ticket will start with a three-letter code 176 followed by the 10-digit code of the ticket number. And Emirates is the name of the airline. So let's see how other ways this entry can be used. If I say DNA and I say AI, this is going to tell me, okay, this is Air India. AI, Air India. 098 is the digital code and Air India is the name of the airline. Let's check one more airline, DNA LH. So this tells us, okay, LH stands for Lufthansa, where 220 is the digital code of that airline.
Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like, share, subscribe if you liked the video.